Rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
You'll see here the human male boasts the size of his testicles. I drive great when I'm blood. It's all about the sauce. Good, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh man, speaking of fucking, you want popcorn? I'll give you a popcorn kit. I'm just trying to go to Colorado and smoke some weed. Watch your fucking tots, huh? Those are my biscuits. Now, this is all alleged.
Welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I am Jesse, and today we are joined by our guest, Rachel Smets.
Hi.
Can you tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Sure. I'm Rachel Smets. You pronounced it really well. And
Oh, nice.
I am, for me, it's I'm an author. I wrote 2 books. I co-authored other books. I did 2 TEDx talks. So I'm a speaker as well. I'm a teacher. I'm an expert in cultural differences, and I'm a cultural trainer. I'm also a teacher at university, international business. And basically, my main thing is living abroad. So my main passion is living abroad, living in different countries, and that's what all my courses are about, what my books are about, and what my passion is, and what I'm doing right now, because I'm actually originally Belgian,
Okay.
and I'm standing in Canada right now. So,
Oh, wow.
in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, I was checking
Nice.
out your Instagram and I saw you're very active. You post a lot of photos, and it shows you're very about exploring your surroundings and learning and getting in there, and not being hesitant about it. And I really enjoyed that with your TED Talks, which, at this point people definitely go over to YouTube and check out. She has 2 TED Talks up. One's titled Your Next Step and the next one is called Stop Comparing. Amazing. Very inspirational and refreshing stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And it is what I do. I want to show people that, you can achieve your goals and your dreams if you believe in it. That's the thing. And I want to show that, I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm still traveling and I'm still doing it. And so I don't think there should be any excuses. And I just want to encourage people to, for me, my big drive is I don't want to grow old thinking, what if I had done it? What if?
Absolutely.
And I'm, I passed 40 now, and I'm, I still don't want to say what if. I want to do it. I want to keep doing it. So, yeah.
Was this
That's a great message.
Yeah, very great message. Now, was this something that started from like birth, or is this spark over time, like in your youth or after youth?
Yeah, definitely not at birth, because if you know my family and my parents, they're like based in one town and they will not move, and even have a 1-hour drive, it's like, ooh, the end of the world.
Oh, wow.
So they keep telling me, like, who do you have that from, Rachel? It's like, not from us, so yeah, I guess as a child, well, I know we never traveled a lot. It's definitely not for my family. So I kind of I was working when I was about 19, and I had a lot of expats as customers, and so I talked a lot to those people, and I thought, that's interesting, living and working in another country and exploring other things and just experiencing that. So I started, the very first time, it took me a year, and that's what I tell people. I never, jump off a cliff or just, go do it. No, I took really a year to prepare, to talk to people, to say, like, to kind of investigate, like, what is this all about, living in another country? What do you need to know? What do you need to prepare? And so I did all of that. And at that time, I needed a job as well. I mean, and I needed income, because that's a big part of, very important part. So yeah, long story short, I applied for different jobs in different countries. And then my first country, I chose Spain. And I moved.
Wow.
And from then on, I didn't go back. That was in 2003. And
Did you know Spanish when you had moved to Spain? Was that part of the preparation?
Yeah, it is. And it's something that, I love languages, okay? I speak 6 languages now.
Wow.
But it's something that I learned as well. And it's something that from all the people I interview and talk to, the number one key when you go to another country is the language. And that could be a real challenge, a real struggle. But it's the one thing that I really encourage people, like, learn some basic conversation. And that's what I did, like 3 months ahead before I moved. I mean, you know where you're going to go, right? So then I kind of made a list of some vocabulary words, like really basic words. And so that you can at least make a basic, hi, how are you? Or where's this road? Or what's the direction? Or thank you? Or just some basic little things. And then once you're there, you make an effort of talking to locals and improving your language. But you have to prepare. Don't go to another country thinking, oh, I'll learn it when I'm there, because that's when you're in trouble. Because once you arrive, you need to find out some stuff. And if you don't know a word, that's making your life hard. Yeah. And there's so many other things going on when you move to a new country. There's so many other things you have to do and settle and get ready. And you don't have time to learn a language then. So when you're still at home, do it then. You have time.
Yeah, and it's like finishing school once you finally get there. I'd imagine it's like fast track, like filling in the gaps that you didn't really pick up on, like, certain dialect, like pieces or slang even, like I'd imagine it probably fills in like a puzzle at that point, right? Once you have your basis and move. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what languages do you know?
My native language is Dutch. Although I speak and do everything in English. And then my second language is French. My third is English. And then comes Spanish, Italian, and here's a cat. Italian and Spanish, yes.
Okay, wow.
And I'm kind of getting by with Portuguese, and that's my next thing that I would love to know. But again, a language is something that it's interesting. I mean, I've tried a few others, but it's interesting if you can practice it. If you have no use with it at all, then it makes no sense, and you're not gonna, you need to keep practicing languages.
Absolutely. So, Spain. Where else have you lived abroad?
I was in Scotland. I was in England. I always mention those two. I know it's United Kingdom, but it's just such a world of difference between Scotland and England. So I just always mention those two as two different countries.
Yeah.
Also in Germany, also a year in France, the States, and twice for a shorter time, but twice in India. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
And now in Canada. And Switzerland. The whole summer I was in Switzerland. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it goes from shorter times, like several months, to I think the maximum was 2 years. Oh, and the Netherlands, of course, the Netherlands. Yeah. So that's my longest one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've only traveled abroad. I mean, making the jump to actually like moving your life there, that's big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would say is like a key factor that people should, like, especially I would think getting a job would, like you said, be one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
Is there anything that people can do if they're like, hey, I want to live in this specific country. How do I get employed there, essentially?
Yeah, well, there's many things. That's why I wrote the book and I made the course Living Abroad Successfully, because there's many things you need to consider. And it depends from person to person. Maybe you're retired and you just want a nice country to retire and you have enough, income to go by. Maybe you do need a job. And for me, I had several jobs. Now I'm a freelancer, I'm an entrepreneur, and I do things online. But I applied for a job. And sometimes I applied for different jobs in different countries, and I just went wherever they took me, fine by me. Sometimes I knew exactly which country I wanted to go to, and I applied for a job there. So, but it depends. I used to work in the corporate world. Now I'm also teaching. But it really depends what your profession is, what you want to do, and then go from there.
Hey everyone, my name is Drew and I host a podcast called Dudes with Brews on a Porch where we let the drinks flow and the conversations go. Each and every week, me and a friend of mine, we sit down, we try a different craft brew, usually from the state of Wisconsin, and we just sit down and have a conversation. We talk about all aspects of life. Once a month, we talk about paranormal stuff, and we always have a good time. You can find our show, Dudes with Brews on a Porch, on iTunes, Google Play, and anywhere else you find your podcasts. Grab a cold one and hang out with us each and every week right here on the porch.
So everything starts with your research and your preparation. That's the number one key, and that's also the number one mistake of people. Like, I love going to Spain on a holiday, so let's go there. I'm going to live there, and then suddenly you live there and you realize, like, whoa, there's rules and laws and different things and different habits and different culture, and suddenly you get homesick and you go back, and then you feel like a failure and disaster. So that's what I don't want people to do.
Yeah.
So the research and preparation, depending, are you a freelancer? Are you going to work online? What climate do you like? Do you want, do you like winter and summer, or do you prefer the sun and the beach? Can you deal with rain and storms? What language, if you're not good in languages and you don't want to learn another language, then stick with a country that, speaks English. And there's a lot of countries where you may think they speak English because you think, oh, the whole wide world speaks English, right? But no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, no. So be careful. Location is important. Housing. Maybe you can rent out the house where you are now or sell it, and then you have money again to go by, the first year maybe. There's a lot of things to think about. Where are you going to live? Are you going to rent a place? Or are you going to buy a place? My advice is to rent first and then buy, because you get to know the rules and the laws again of the country, and you want to know for sure if you want to stay there. There's language, there's culture. Okay, my passion is culture, and that's a big thing. I mean, it's not for nothing that they call the term cultural shock. Because you arrive in a new country, and then there's actually 4 phases to adjustment. The first phase is the honeymoon phase.
Right.
Honeymoon is like, yay, I'm excited. It's like holiday, and everything's new and everything's great, and it's exciting, and you discover things. And then comes pretty fast the second phase, the frustration. You go to the grocery store, you think, damn, where's the milk? Where's my peanut butter? Where's the bread? Everything is different. And so then you get frustrated. You don't know your way around. The public transportation is maybe, late or not on time or not frequent, or I don't know. But everything seems, you don't connect to people. You don't have your friends. You miss your family and friends. Big thing. That's why I keep talking about making friends and making connections. It's super important. And so that's a frustration phase, and that can take a long time. And that's where people sometimes get really homesick and lonely, and they stay in there for months, sometimes even years. And then comes a small adjustment, the phase of adjusting, where you kind of get to meet people, you get some connections, you make some friends, you get used to the food and the habits and the festivals and whatnot. And then the last phase is really when you can call it, hey, I'm home. And that's for me the key thing. Like, when people say, where's your home? Well, right now, this is it. I'm at home. I'm in Canada. Wherever I sleep at night, that's my home. I make it my home really easily. And I adjust easily because I've done it many times. But when you can call it, if you still call home where, you grew up, then, you're not adjusting well. So that's the cultural thing. And then, the settling in part, that's another part of, how do you settle in? How do you create a routine? And that's the thing that I advise, I create a routine as fast as you can. I arrived here on the second day. I had a membership at the gym, because I know for me going to the gym is part of my routine. It's part of ways of meeting people for me as well. It's my kind of social thing, not to be alone all the time. And you don't want to stay stuck. Yeah. And you need to do things. And there's all these elements that I describe in detail then, but those are the key elements, that you need to think about. So
it's a lot to consider.
Yeah. But if you consider those and you know those and you make it a priority and you kind of, go, in my book I have checklists, like check, it's pretty smooth afterwards.
I was just going to say, I really like how, you don't sugarcoat it like a lot of, people want to, do. And you're all about taking small steps. So it takes the weight off of, like not looking at this big picture, like how the heck am I going to be living in, South America in a year? It's about, okay, month 1, let's do our research on, the climate, the job market, what I can do there and really specialize in, and, in those little tasks, and then start learning the language a few months in, like if you really checklist it, like you're demonstrating, in your book. I did just get your book. I haven't made it, but like 3 or 4 chapters in so far. But I'm loving so far what I've read, as you've demonstrated already. You've done a great job of already putting in a good amount of like great things here. And I mean, the TED Talk was really what dove me into just like wanting to get into your book. And I can't say enough. People need to start, with that and then check the book out for sure. It's refreshing, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. And talking about that TED Talk, that was really my, taking the next step in life. And that you don't have to move abroad. Maybe you want to start your own business.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to make get another degree, or it doesn't matter. Whatever goal or dream you have in your life. For me, it's moving abroad, but for others, it can be anything. And it's the same with everything. You in my TED Talk, I mentioned, like a recipe. You don't make a cake. What do? You follow a recipe, right? I mean, you don't run a marathon if you never ran 2 miles.
Yeah.
You start with 1 mile and 5 miles, and cooking a cake is the same thing. You take a bowl, you take the flour, you take the sugar, you add this, you add that, you take all the steps, then you put it in the oven, and then you get a cake. You don't take the bowl, put it in the oven, and boom, you have a cake. No, you don't. You follow the recipe. It's as easy as that. And no matter what you want to do in life, and related to my second talk is stop comparing yourself to others, because when it comes to a goal or a dream, yes, you need to take the small steps. But while you're doing that, and that's why I found my second TED Talk about stop comparing yourself to other people and feel bad. No, look at other people that inspire you. Look at those people that have achieved your goal and your dream. If you want a certain career, then go and talk to those people that have a career. When I wrote my first book, Awaken Your Confidence, I had no idea about writing books, but I talked to a lot of authors. Like, how did you start? What did you do? And how do you really start thinking about it? And what do I need to add? And I had all these kind of questions. So no matter what your goal or dream is, that's the first step. Like, find those people that have it, and don't start putting those thoughts in your mind, like these 80,000 thoughts a day we have, like, oh, but I'm not good enough, but I'm too old, but my family, and I have kids, and I don't know. And fine, then don't.
Yeah.
But if you want something, then, and another big thing that I keep talking about is select your tribe. The people around you, they're so important. I said I let go of quite a number of people, and I don't care. I learned that because why do I need to feel obligated to call this person just because they say, oh, you don't call me every week, so now you're not my friend anymore. Sorry, then I'm not. I'd rather hang with people that I know that if I talk to them once every 6 months, but I get some good inspiration and motivation, that makes me happy. That makes me grow. And they're not going to complain like, oh, you don't call me every week. Well, no, because I'm busy, because I'm trying to grow, because I'm developing myself, because I'm learning things, and they understand. And those are the people I choose, and it means saying no to, sometimes birthday parties and coffees where I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah. We were having to talk about that the other day, actually, learning to say no.
Yeah, learn to say no and how to value your time so that you're putting it into things that are worthwhile and yourself. I mean, that's like what could be more important. And it may sound selfish, but you need to have that introspection in order to improve yourself so you can be better to everyone around you and society in general.
Saying no is saying yes to yourself. Saying no to someone else is saying yes to yourself, and you have to take care of yourself, and before you can be a good person to other people. It's true. I mean, it sounds selfish, but it's not. You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I think people fear it's going to be selfish, and then it's overwhelming how good it feels to be like, no, I just stood up for myself in this scenario, and now I don't have to go through the torture of the hour and a half of not wanting to be in that scenario, and it's good. It feels good.
Yeah, right.
You do it once, and then it goes better every time.
Don't do it all the time. We're not saying that, but
no, I said when you do it once, it goes.
Oh no, no, I was making a joke. Yeah,
See what you mean.
And I have to say, your TED Talk on not comparing, I thought that was such a great message, because I feel like that's one of the biggest problems today. And especially me and Matt, we grew up with like cell phones, but not ones that, you could like go on Facebook with or anything like that. I feel like even kids these days are like right off the jump. They're having to deal with like that kind of social pressure on top of like, high school, middle school, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that message almost needs to be echoed throughout like everywhere, so that people aren't having to try and live rock star lives on a minimum wage salary.
Yeah, the way I described it in my talk is, and I just, I'll mention it again because it's just one phrase. It's that social media is a way to connect with each other, but in reality, it's a way of disconnecting with reality. You know, you disconnect, because what is real? I mean, all the posts that you see, people post their best selves. People post their beautiful holiday and their, you know, when they have their makeup on and how everything is going so nicely. And that's what you see. And then you start thinking, you know, if you're not strong in yourself, you know, if you're not very confident in yourself, it's so easy to get lost and to say, oh, look at those and look at them and they have it all and they have this and they have that and I don't have nothing and I'm not good enough and I can't do that. And you get all, you know, that's sad. And the thing is, you don't see people show their best selves and they hide their mess. You know, you're not going to see pictures of, you know, how bad they feel or how much hard work they put in. That the hard work is the thing, you know. We show, I mean, I do the same thing. I like to show my achievements, but I'm not going to post pictures every day about me sitting behind a computer hours and hours and trying to call people and connect with people. And no, I show the results and I'll explain how I got there. I do that. But I mean, I'm not going to, you know, you don't want to show all the hard work that goes in it. It's hard to show that. But a lot of times, you know, people say, oh, you're so lucky, Rachel, you travel the world. Lucky? Seriously, lucky? I have to earn money. I have to get income. I have to find my way around. I have to dig it all out. I have to do my research. I have to do my preparation. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't given to you.
It's not luck, it's effort.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to achieve my goals and dreams, and I will go for it, and I will do that, and I'm determined. But there's no luck.
This is Full Start, the show about those presumptuous pictures that studios were sure would spawn a franchise, but didn't.
So back on Eternia, Skeletor sort of locates the key on Earth with Google Maps, and then asks where his mercenaries are. He's had to walk past those mercenaries to get into the room. Yeah, guys, Skeletor is rude.
Go on. Okay, go on.
Film does not know what mercenaries are. Evelyn assembles them, but then introduces them to Skeletor as his finest warriors. Are they his warriors, or are they freelancers?
Okay, name them.
Beastman.
Come on. There's at least one. There's one that's an easy one.
I know.
Because some mother is always trying to ice skate uphill.
The Blade.
Thank you. That's two.
Look, the fact that we were able to name two characters in this film,
you were able to name two,
instantly makes it better than Planet of the Apes.
If you like that, you can hear more on iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter, and Facebook at Full Starts Pod.
There's a lot to take from each one of your TED Talks, and I mean, the book is like, it took me right away. I just got it yesterday, and I've already gone through quite a few chapters. Is this your only book that you've written?
My first book was Awaken Your Confidence.
Okay.
So that's about self-confidence, where I kind of show that self-confidence is something that you can learn, because I used to be really shy and not talking and at all. And I really learned it. And I interviewed a lot of people that are very successful in many different types of careers. And they all went through the same thing. And that was amazing when I did all these interviews. Like, wow, they all went through the same thing. Like, if you want something, you have to overcome your fear. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to, confront those fears and take action. And that's how you learn to grow your confidence. And that was such an eye-opener for me, because I discovered it through my travels abroad, because I was facing so many struggles and challenges. You arrive in a new country, you have to make all these decisions on your own. And you just, keep confronting fears and challenges, and you just grow so much as a person. I really developed myself. And then, so I did gain a lot of confidence. Heck, who would have known that I would be a TEDx talker or an international speaker? And here I am, I'm doing that. But it's all through facing fears and overcoming challenges, and surrounding yourself by the right people, and thinking positive thoughts, really changing those negative thoughts, and being so much more self-aware, and in a way selfish to be self-aware, otherwise you're not going to learn it. And so I learned all these things, and I put everything in that book. And so that was the first book. And then I co-authored 2 other books, and then Living Abroad Successfully. Yeah. I'm
starting backwards. It sounds like that's the first platform would be perfect to start with before I started Living Abroad Successfully. but I'm going to read them in reverse, I guess. Yeah.
Now, out of all of the places you lived, I have to ask, do you have like a favorite or like one that you look back on and you're like, oh man, that was amazing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't discovered everything yet, so who knows, it'll change. But for now, I would definitely say Spain. Because of the climate. I'm again, that's different for everyone. Like now I'm in Canada and some people are like, oh, skiing, I love skiing. I hate snow.
No.
I'm in the Sunshine Coast. There's no snow here. In fact, today's a bright sunny day. And
nice.
So no, snow is not for me. So again, it depends on everyone. But for me, Spain, because of I need beach, ocean, and sun and warmth, and I just get so much energy from the sun and the warmth, and it'll never be too warm for me. So close by the ocean, the sound of the water and the waves, and the warm climate. So now I have the ocean. I have a view on the ocean actually where I'm standing right now. I have the sun, but it's cold. So
those Canadian winters do get a little chilly.
But it's not just that. It's also because in Spain, people, because of the climate also, people live outside and you get to socialize so much easier. In countries like Belgium and Netherlands and Denmark and Norway, people are, because of also the weather, it's colder and people stay inside. It's like 6 p.m., it's dark, doors are closed, windows shut. You don't connect easily with people. And it's so important to have these social connections with people. And in those countries, it's so much harder to really find those connections and things to do. So you can get lonely really easily. And in Spain, you're outside a lot and you just talk to anybody you meet in the street or and that makes life, more pleasant, much more pleasant.
That isolation from the weather. Yeah. Didn't even factor that in. That is kind of crazy. You would imagine. I mean, that's why California, when I go there, I feel like you meet so many more people easily. Yeah. People are out doing things.
Yeah. The isolation is the worst thing. I mean, and there's also discussion like, okay, I help a lot of people that are single because I am single. And, if you have a family or a husband, is it easier or not? That's a discussion that's always ongoing. Like, it's easy because you're alone, and you can just go wherever you want. You're free to go where you want. That's what I hear. Yes, but it also means that I have to make every decision on my own. That I have to figure out everything on my own. That I have to have enough income, and I can't, rely on my husband or partner for income because a lot of people do. And so it's just different. I'm not going to say one is best or, better than the other. It's different. But when you're alone, I do have the importance of meeting people because otherwise you can get really isolated. Yeah. And if you are with a family, you always have somebody to talk to. So, and you can make decisions together and you can discuss things together. Having said that, I still see all the benefits of being alone, and I encourage people not to feel lonely because I find that I meet more people when I'm alone because I'm alone. Just think about at the airport, you're sitting there, or I just go to a city, I sit on a bench, and I just easily talk to people. If you're with a partner, you're not going to make connections. I mean, people are not really going to come up to you and talk to you or whatever. So
I'm sure you learn a lot about yourself too, traveling alone.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's got to be, if there's an element of being so freeing too. I mean, nobody to answer to, nobody to have to worry about responsibly. Then you're deciding, like you said, what you do for that day, and you're forced to sort of make that decision and say, like, what do I like? What do I want to do?
Yeah, that's true. It's a sense of freedom, and it's a sense of when you have to make decisions like, where will I live? What will where will I rent? Which electricity company do I need? Which phone company? Those are the kinds of decisions that sometimes I wish, I wouldn't have to make alone. Those are kind of harder to make alone. But then comes, the freedom of deciding, where I want to go and what I want to do. That's true. Yeah. And I don't need to tell someone, hey, I'm leaving now and I'm coming back at 5. No, I don't care.
No checking in.
7:00 tonight, you can decide you're going to be in South America in 3 months.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yep. Yeah, there's definitely advantages to both. And, you know, I think for you personally, this has helped you, you know, build your own recipe to say, you know, and you've picked out and weeded through all the lessons and kind of compiled the best ones that you've noticed in your lifetime. And you're trying to help, you know, with everybody else and distribute them. And I think, you know, a lot of people are fake out there these days trying to, you know, put out images. And I really enjoy yours because you've lived it. There's proof in the pudding, you know. And that's what I like, you know, and all these stories you give us with your, you know, the lesson at the ends of them, basically. It's just, I like the proof, you know, it just adds to it. You know, I know you're authentic and I'm looking forward to everything you do. I enjoy the book so far. And now I got to go back to read the other one. So
yeah, and follow me on YouTube. You know, I'm trying to,
I see that.
That this year I'm going to really focus on YouTube and make a lot of short videos like, hey, now I'm here and this is what I'm doing. And how I'm doing it, you know, so I can really show people. And so.
Do you have a podcast?
No.
You should get one. You should get one.
Yeah, I would listen to it for sure.
You should get a podcast going.
Even short form or something.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be long.
I like short and sweet. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
The message of the week with Rachel Smets. You heard it here first, people. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. And again, we're looking forward to everything you do. And hopefully we'll have you back on sometime.
Yeah, I'd love to. Hey, I mean, I can keep talking forever, but just throw all the links that I gave you in the description or on your site so people can find me. I'm here for any questions about living abroad and or cultural or... Yeah, and just keep following me on YouTube, and I'll keep sharing inspiration and motivation. And remember, if you can dream it, you can do it. And another quote that I love, love, love is life changes, and so can you.
Nice.
Very nice. Very
nice.
Those
are very good.
Never too old to change.
I love it. I love it. And that's Rachel Smets across the board. Easy to find. We found her within seconds. And definitely go to Amazon. You can get her book there. Nice and easy. Living Abroad Successfully is the most recent one. And just nothing but positive here. We love it. Love it. And thank you everybody for tuning in with us. We love each and every one of you. Until next time, that's it.
There you go.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America. Bitch, I'm on a mission. Better pay attention, man. I gotta get it till my fucking digits hit the fucking limit. Shit, I'll never finish, but I'll end up winning, even though I'm sitting. Give me a minute. Think about the seconds that are passing. Man, I gotta go and get it, grab it. Why you gotta go and acting savage? Smoking weed, I gotta feed the habit. Now I'm on some other shit. Things that I gotta go get. Medical all on my slip. You falling like dominoes, bitch. Stuck in my ways, fucking high days, fucking sideways in the driveway. We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America. We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America.